Toda runyararo, toda kubatana, toda kuwirirana mukati meZimbabwe. Hatidi mhere. Towirirana, tosumudzirana tese tichanda pamwe chete.
The year 2022 has come and gone, with its memorable moments, its highs and lows. We take a moment to reflect what a year it has been, politically, economically, and socially. To sum it up, the major highlights for 2022 were the birth of new political party CCC, the March 26 by-elections, the ZANU-PF Congress, which selected President Emmerson Mnangagwa as an uncontested candidate for the 2023 presidential race, the jailing without trial of Job Sikhala of the CCC for close to 200 days, the declaration of by-elections by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, which were to be held on March 26, 2022, triggered a series of events which, amongst other things, saw the formation of a new political baby, the CCC.
Citizens are the engines that turn the turbines of a nation. And that's why the new outfit has a perfect and beautiful name, the Citizen Coalition for Change. Once again, the new baby, the Citizen Coalition for Change.
Then it was a race for power, with rallies across the country, with major players ZANU-PF's Mnangagwa and CCC Chamisa going blow for blow.
Nyika neimwe inave nevayo, imwi muri vene venyika ino. Vanoda kuzoshanda nesu vasauya vane pfungwa dzokwavo, ngavauye kunowanzwa pfungwa dzedu votibatsira pafungwa dzatinadzo kwete dzavana vevakabereka.
Isu tinoti mutambo wematongerwo enyika, mutambo wetsiva yemazano, yema-ideas, yema-thoughts. Let's have a clash of civilization and values. Kana mukatikunda tinokukorokotedza iwe. Asi kana iri nyaya yevhoti munyika muno, hakuna
we were able to defeat these opportunists who, with the collaboration of our brothers and sisters, had tried to hijack our party. We claimed back our officials, our elected officials. We won back our headquarters, Morgan Richard Tsvangirai House. We claimed back our money. And to complete the political route, we have at last totally regained both our name and our legacy.
The results humbled Monzora.
What is important is that people did not go to vote. The mobilization of people to go and vote did not seem to work. And we are confident that we will be able to mobilize our people to go and vote.
Revived Chamisa's mojo.
We have lost nothing. If anything, we have gained. From zero, we are now 19 members of parliament who are going to paint the parliament yellow. That's not a small achievement. Those in ZANU-PF will tell you that this is not small.
Made ZANU-PF believe it can wrestle the urban electoral votes from CCC.
Your urban supremacy days are over, and for that to be contested, we shall be pinpointing everything lax or corrupt which the MDC has been doing in urban areas. We shall be highlighting it to the electorate. We want the voter to account to make sure that every urban MP of the MDC accounts for the vote which they got on last Saturday. We shall be making sure that every councillor of the MDC who won last Saturday, the voter shall make him account in that ward why you won. And if the garbage is still there, if the sewage is still the swimming ground of young people, if running water is not available and you are in charge, then we will make sure that you will be made accountable, because that we think is going to be the decider of the urban vote in 2023.
The polls were marred by violence in Gokwe and Kwekwe. The most ugly scenes were witnessed. Boneni Ngube was killed in Kwekwe, making sad news across the world.
Nematanda varikuita violence avaswani vedu ndokumbira kuti vanhu mufambe mira
Triple C mobilizer and unofficial mascot, Madzibabare Shanduko, a self-funded supporter from Guruve, who became a familiar sight at all rallies, like most of the prominent opposition supporters, was arrested under unclear circumstances and brutally assaulted whilst in police custody. He was injured and hospitalized.
Injection tablets pane doctor akazondiringa afonerwa nadoctor naadvocate called that akazondifonera akafonera akutokubatsira ndakarohwa ndakatanga kurwa pasi petsoka apa ndakarara nepembura ndichirohwa apo ndabviswa hembe vakundurwa musana kwakundirova vakandirova.
I didn't expect that he would be brutalized the way he was brutalized. The lawyers then told us that the comrade had been subjected to inhuman and degrading treatment and torture, and I've seen it for myself. He's in very bad shape, and we will not leave that issue unattended.
On the other hand, Mary Mbaiwa, Vice President Constantino Chiwenga's ex-wife, was battling for life and freedom. Her story made headlines. She came to court in a wheelchair with the aid of nurses and health professionals. All attempts by her lawyer Beatrice Mtetwa to get proceedings stopped because of her ill health failed. The state was determined. A warrant of arrest was even issued whilst she was in the court grounds at Rotunro Magistrates Court, but failing to access the courtroom owing to ill health.
A warrant of arrest was issued because the magistrate says there's no such procedure. She's not in willful default, for God's sake.
So which means they want to arrest her?
What sort of justice system was to arrest a woman who could not even go to the toilet? She has made herself wet because she can't go to the toilet because she is unwell. And you tell me it's a justice system that says she must be arrested when she is in this condition. What sort of justice is this?
Mbaiwa was denied a chance to cross the border to access medical attention. She eventually lost her left hand after having been convicted of one of the charges she was facing, but somehow managed to escape jail as she had to pay a fine.
Because we are powerless, we are helpless, we are voiceless.
The president also made several trips to the National Heroes Acre, where several national heroes were buried during the course of the year.
We now honor them among the list of our national heroes and heroines. We forever remain indebted to all the heroes and heroines of our great country for their freedom, democracy, and independence we enjoy to this day. Their sacrifice will never die.
Speaking of heroes, remember Sirizani Butau, the Zimbabwean superman who risked his own life rescuing people who had had an accident and ended up earning some serious burns on his body. ZANU-PF held the National Youth League conference, where ANC youth leader Kulekani Skosana spoke strongly against xenophobic attacks which were rocking South Africa at that time.
Africans have been staying together in harmony. All of a sudden a white man comes and draws a line, and it is us who want to implement this line. We don't want to be part of that. We don't support vigilantism. We believe that for Africa to find the prosperity it deserves, it will never happen outside of unity. It will never happen outside of engagement.
HSTV journalists Chengeto Chidi and Blessed Nhlanga were arrested whilst in Chitungwiza, where they were filming a documentary on water challenge. The two were to spend 2 nights in police custody before being freed on $20,000 bail, each on allegations of disorderly conduct and taking pictures within a polling station.
I'm a journalist. I'm accredited. I'm accredited as a journalist. Where is your accreditation? It's in my car. Where is it? I can show you. Yes, in my car.
The two were later acquitted and have since filed a $50,000 lawsuit against the police.
Obviously, we are happy that he has now been acquitted, but in a way it saddens us that this is a matter of delayed justice. There was no reason at all why he should have been arrested in the first place, and there was no reason to go through the motions of a trial when it was clear from the onset that no offense had been committed. The provisions of the law juxtaposed to the facts that were presented before the court were so clear that no reason existed to even start a trial in the first place.
In Manicaland, sex workers, owing to a harsh economy, alleged they were now using plastic bags in place of condoms.
STI cannot teach you because no one means teaching. Ndakaenda kumagweja. Ndenda kumagweja. Ndakaenda ni condom I gold kana tenda kumagweja. Nekuti inotomboshaikwa vanhu vanotora maplastic, like maplastic echingwa aya vanhu vachisangana nevarume, as long as kuti marisa endi. Ndakatangotaura nevamwe vasikana vezera rangu ndichivapawo macondom tichiuya tichienda vanhu vachiuya ndichiita microplan yangu ndiri ikoko.
Constitutional law expert and UK-based law lecturer Alex Magaisa died on the 5th of June 2022. His death was one of the dark moments in Zimbabwe.
Alex Magaisa, an organic intellectual in the Gramscian sense. Angari mujekes. Ndainzwisisa kuti chinonzi nyika kuivaka pamwe chete. iwe neni. Tine urombo zikuru nezvakaitika tasiwa nemukomanawo. Achishaya ini ndakadumura ndikati naye komana ini ndawanawo ndine makore akati kuti andararama. Dai zvaibvira. Dai kuri kunzi zvaibvira. Uchitenderwa. Waigona kuti aiwa ini hangu ndavolontiya ndazvipira. Ndambotione nyika. Mukomana uyu ngaasezwe.
Chitungwiza Nyatsime was rocked by violence following the abduction and murder of Triple C activist More Blessing Ali. The story stroked political violence, with ZANU-PF chairperson in Nyatsime first banning the funeral.
It's a ZANU-PF territory. Naizvozvo funeral yaitika iyi ndaona kuti iri kuda kupoliticizwa zvisiri zvinoenderana nezvatinofamba nazvo munomu sakansela weZANU-PF. Taurira vana vedu veZANU-PF kuti on this funeral we don't want regalia, and vana vedu veZANU-PF vatevera zvatataura. Saka patasvika pano panzvimbo tasvika pane vakapfeka regalia yetriple C. Saka we had decided kuti funeral ilidwe nechurch, but tichiti isusu kana wakapfeka uniform yako yeRoma, yeHwisiri, yePostori ndo zvaunopfeka, no political songs paarea pedu. But after that tadiscussa izvozvo taona tisiri kuwirirana. Saka inini ward chairman, the councillor of the area, ndazovataurira kuti ndini baba wemusha unoyu, musha unoyu ndewe ZANU-PF. In this case, handichabvumiri kuti funeral ito musha mangu.
In what could have been a retaliation, Triple C supporters went on a rampage, vandalizing property, burning houses and beating up people. Police reacted by arresting Job Sikhala, Godfrey Sitole, and 16 others from Nyatsime over the violence. They were to battle for their freedom, being held up for months without trial before their release, save for Sikhala.
Honorable Job Sikhala, Honorable Godfrey Sitole, and all the Nyatsime group that constitute the Nyatsime 16 have not been let down by the Triple C. They've been let down by the system. The system is meant to guarantee them certain rights. Those rights aren't guaranteed or given by the Triple C. It's not the Triple C that says that every citizen, every accused person has the right to bail. It's the Constitution that says that. And to the extent that a police service or a state institution fails to comply with that constitutional obligation, they have failed. And I can tell you, even if I were to run up and down the streets, even if I were to, as they do in certain countries in Africa, do all manner of demonstration, that is not what releases a citizen. We all know the institution that's got the obligation to release the citizen and grant them bail.
ZANU-PF readied itself for the 2023 general elections, with its leader Mnangagwa targeting apostolic sects. Every weekend, he addressed one shrine and another.
Ndafamba rwendo basi ndinowa ndichiregwa zvose zvandaiudzwa ndichifamba nemazvo. Saka zivai kuti aiwa isu sehurumende tinovimba kuti kereke ine mushando mukati menyika yeZimbabwe. Kereke ine basa rakakosha munyika yeZimbabwe. Toda runyararo, toda kubatana, toda kuwirirana mukati meZimbabwe. Hatidi mhere. Towirirana, tosumudzirana tese tichanda pamwe chete. Ndo shoko randinaro.
The party in its mobilization drive went for churches, teachers, vendors, and any group forming structures. Teachers for ED, doctors for ED, driving schools for ED, and many more.
Teachers are not coerced. teachers are not coercible.
Yes.
They are neither coerced nor are they coercible. They came on their own volition to come and express themselves as teachers for economic development because they are simply impressed by what the president is doing.
The CCC duo, Joanna Mamombe and Cecilia Chimbiri, were still regulars at Harare Magistrates Court, where their trial for cases that were born in 2020 are still ongoing.
We had applied for discharge of the accused persons, Joanna Mamombe and Cecilia Chimbiri, at the close of the state case, on the basis that so far the evidence led by the state from 10 witnesses had not established any case against them. So the magistrate said no, as far as she was concerned, on the face of it there was that evidence. But naturally we are disappointed. We respectively do not agree with the findings of the magistrate. And in regard to the way forward, we are going to study the ruling and then talk to our clients and map the correct way forward.
Filmmaker and novelist Tsitsida Ngarebwa, together with Julia Barnes, were convicted for inciting public violence, a crime committed in 2020. They have since challenged their conviction and sentence.
They have been found guilty by Magistrate Barbara Mateko of having committed a crime, which is of attending a meeting with intent to incite violence or breach of the peace or acts of bigotry. We made it clear that that was not our intention. However, the court has found that that is what we in fact did. And therefore, we have been given a suspended sentence of 6 months, suspended for 5 years. We were given a fine of 70,000 Zimbabwe dollars each, yes. And so that is a fine that we have paid.
ZAC went after ZANU-PF legislator Mayor Wajikajena over alleged Kotko corruption. He was arrested but quickly granted bail in what was seen as internal ZANU-PF fights. Another ZANU-PF member, Mike Chimombe, was also dragged to court over allegations of theft, but the matter was withdrawn without plea. The nation was once again thrown into mourning following a bus accident which claimed the lives of children from Teenwald School.
It is a sad end to young, promising lives, gone, never to be seen again on this side of the earth. May their souls rest in peace.
The fight for vending space in Bare became violent. Police had to be called in to maintain peace.
Mbare Magaba has become a terror zone amid violent clashes which has left some injured, while others have lost property worth thousands of United States dollars to arson. Money is at the center of these battles. Space barons who have been making millions off the vendors are unhappy and have been accused of unleashing violence so that their revenue streams are not cut. Linked to the ruling ZANU-PF, the space barons are reportedly using violence to push out those who resist paying fees to them.
The RBZ, in an effort to control hyperinflation, introduced gold coins as an economic measure. Governor John Mangujga said it was going to be a store of value.
Are coins made out of gold. The purpose of those coins is to store value, and secondly, for private ownership of gold. As you are aware, our country has got vast resources of gold, and as you also aware, Zimbabweans want a product to store their value into, and therefore gold coins internationally, they are used for a store of value. And there are qualities and specifications that of gold coins that are going to be minting through the Fidelity Gold Refinery.
Known by many as a deal made in hell, or the smelly Pomona dam site deal, it was one of those deals which grabbed the attention of many in Harare. Delish Nguwaya, fresh from the drugs gate scandal, hit another one, the Pomona Gate, a $320 million deal which robbed the people of Harare, they said. Government has defended the deal with its life.
Vicious nature of this agreement
is that that rental is paid irregardless or regardless of whether we have sent the refuse at all. So even if we don't deliver the refuse, it's a 24-hour, 7 days a week contract. So even if we don't deliver the rubbish, we have to pay. So now I saw someone doing calculations. We now owe this company over $500,000 net.
We make our place clean. We make our residents live in cleaner places. We want to do away with cholera. We want to do away with typhoid. And who would say this is going to, I mean, are we happy to stay with waste around our homes, heaps of waste around our home, which has been happening? Now the city of Harare is now working with geogenics to make sure that our places are clean, and then somebody says this deal is made in hell. Then we begin to ask ourselves as Zimbabweans, what exactly do we want?
President Mnangagwa officially used the new parliament for his State of Nation address, but parliament quickly went back to his old site. MPs used the opportunity at the new building to sleep.
We take pride in the election of Honorable Chief Charumbira as the President of the Pan-African Parliament. Also, we have our own citizen, son of the soil, Dr. Cosmas Zava, as Director of the Telecommunications Development Bureau of the International Communications Union, as well as Zimbabwe's election.
The loans given to ministers and MPs torched a storm. Ministers helped themselves to $500,000 USD in loans each. Deputy ministers got $35,000 and MPs got $40,000, much to the anger of many.
In the midterm supplemental budget of September 2022, approved in September, provision was made for a housing vehicle loan for about USD 40,000. The loan was understood as genuine part of the MP's welfare. The loan is therefore not a surprise executive instrument, but one that went through the due process of appropriation as is provided in our constitution of our country. It is not a discretionary issue or an executive gratuitous gesture, unlike grants granted to ministers and deputy ministers. The loan is not new and it's not a new one. In October of 22, MPs were made to sign binding loan application forms, which they executed. In late November, Parliament made partial disbursements of these loans. The loan in question is above board. The loan is is no excuse for state failure or the deplorable state of public service. It is no excuse for 42 years of mean management and misallocation of public resources. And most certainly, the loan cannot bribe or derail a cause that is for us.
For comic relief, we had the Levels and Shashil's drama rolling out in court. The two lovebirds turned on each other with rape accusations flying around. Shashil accused Levels of leaking pornographic material in an effort to break her. She also said her music producer was violent and raped her.
The fight between lovebirds Tafadzwa Kadzimwe, popularly known as DJ Levels in entertainment circles, and Ashley Shashu Moyo was brought to Harare Magistrates Court today as criminal proceedings opened against the Chill Sport DJ.
Then as the year drew to a close, there was total darkness. Zesa went off. Load shedding became a thing. 20-hour darkness. Government said it was because of low water levels in Kariba, whilst others said it was due to sheer government incompetence. The solution is yet to be found. We will now turn our efforts to covering the 2023 general elections so that you are informed as usual. We thank you for your support. Follow and like our pages for more unmolested news as we deliver to the nation for the nation. It's your girl, Lady Gomera, for HSTV News and Current Affairs. Happy New Year.